In this video, I'm going to be vibe coding with the newly released Kimi K2.7 Code, which released on Friday from Moonshot AI. This model comes at a price of 75 cents per million on the input and $3.50 per million on the output, and it has a context window of 262,000 tokens. For the purpose of this video, I have purchased a $39 per month Kimi plan, and we are going to be testing it inside of Kimi Code. I'm going to be giving one of you that likes, comments, and subscribes to BridgeMind a free $39 per month Kimi plan. So make sure you do those things. And there is a link to the BridgeMind Discord community of over 12,300 builders, which is the largest vibe coding community on the internet. So make sure you do those things if you want to join the giveaway. The first test that we're going to give Kimi K2.7 is that first person survival horror game. So I do have a new page on BridgeBench. If you look over here, it's going to be over on test prompts page, and you can literally just try this out yourself if you'd like. You can copy this survival horror game, and we're just going to paste it inside of BridgeSpace. Let's go back over to BridgeSpace now and pull up our Kimi K2.7 Code workspaces. I'm just going to drop in this prompt. So this is going to be a really good look for how good the design is, how fast it is. One issue that we had with Kimi K2.6 was the speeds. So we're hoping that we get some better speeds with Kimi K2.7. It looks like it's starting a goal. So that's interesting. It started a goal right away. We're just gonna, wow, look at that. So it already has its goal. It already has its to-do list, and it's already coding, which is good to see. Now, I don't have this in YOLO mode yet. I'm probably gonna have to toggle that on. While our horror game is being built out, we're also gonna drop in this Minecraft style prompt, which I actually already submitted here. And I have to say, look at the speeds on Kimi K2.7 so far, guys. I just want you to kind of watch this, because Kimi K2.6, one of the biggest issues that I had with it was that it was just really slow and unreliable. So with the Chinese models, because they don't have as many chips, it can be difficult for them to serve their models because they just don't have the compute resources that other American models like Opus 4.8 or GPT 5.5 have to serve them at fast speeds. But if you look at the output speed here, it actually looks like Kimi K2.7 is much faster than Kimi K2.6 was. The next thing that we're going to do is test Kimi K2.7 on a real world production issue. So this is an issue that was reported by a user. They said that the discount modal on the website is not working. I tried to enter my email to claim the first 3 months for half off and got an error message about the CAPTCHA timing out. So let's copy this issue, and we're going to go over to this here, and we're going to submit this in, and we're going to do what we would if this was any other production issue. We're going to at BridgeMind UI, and we're going to at BridgeMind API, and then we're going to give it a quick prompt with Bridge Voice. I need you to do a review on this bug that has been reported by a user and identify and pinpoint what is causing this. And I need you to create a structured plan for any updates that need to be made to fix this issue. So we're going to submit this, and we'll see how it's able to work in a production code base. Now, one thing that I want to remind you guys is that with that context window, 262,000 tokens and in context, that is a little bit small in today's world. I'm going to be honest, with only 262,000 tokens, that is probably going to struggle in a real world production code base that is larger. Most models now, like GPT 5.5 or Opus 4.8, they're coming out with 1 million tokens in context. And the reason for that is because that makes it much easier to work in production code bases. So one thing that I don't like about Kimi K2.7 is the fact that that context window just isn't very large. Now, I don't know what's going on with this agent over here. If we expand this, do you guys see this right here? Do you see how it's saying thinking and then it's just outputting? I don't know if this is just their UI for it, but it just says thinking and it's outputting a bunch of dots, okay? And it's been stuck on this implementing to do here, implement core state machine and game loop, and it's just been stuck here for a decent amount of time. The next thing that I want to test Kimi K2.7 on is a Remotion video. So with this agent down here in BridgeSpace, I am just going to add BridgeSpace Tari, and I'm going to give it a nice prompt. I need you to use Remotion to create a marketing video for BridgeSpace. Do not reference any of the other videos inside of BridgeSpace or the Remotion directory. I want you to create a new video from scratch that really gives a clear view of what you are able to do inside of BridgeSpace, review all BridgeSpace functionality, and create a marketing video that is a digital twin of BridgeSpace that shows how to use BridgeSpace and gives the user a clear view of what BridgeSpace is for and how to use it. Okay, so we're going to submit that prompt. And one thing that I do want to show you guys is that this agent over here did finish. If you guys pull this up, we can see that this agent was able to find that error. So it says when the error, where the error originates, the user facing message CAPTCHA verification timed out is thrown from the client side execute turnstile helper in, and then it references the file. So it was able to find the issue, and then it was able to create this structured plan to be able to fix the issue. Okay, so it actually says, hey, here's my recommended approach. Switch newsletter forms to the proven visible turns widget pattern recommended. So we're going to use this here. It's going to update it, and we'll just see what this does. But guys, look at the output speeds that Kimi K2.7 is giving us. I think that this is much faster than Kimi K2.6. We'll see what BridgeBench says by the end of the video. But again, look over here on the token context window here, 26.4% used, 69,000 tokens have already been used in this context window. And as you guys know, as that context window fills up, it's going to actually perform worse. And it's not going to, once you have to compact, it's going to start hallucinating more. So I'd hope that we don't have to compact, but that's definitely one thing to keep your eye on. For this agent here, it's still just doing this thinking thing. And this is one problem that I typically see from Chinese models, is that they are not reliable. And that is why a lot of the time I won't use Chinese models, because, hey, if I'm working in a real production workflow and I get this, like, first of all, Opus 4.8 just isn't doing this. Like, I don't even know what is happening here. Let's just do escape and interrupt it and see, like, this here. Let's do Control O. Control O is how we expand this. So look at this. What is going on here, guys? Do you see this? So what even happened here? It just outputted a bunch of whatever this even is. It looks like it just got stuck. Do you guys see this? Let's design a small map. Use tile size 2 for scale, map, and then it's just maybe use ASCII. So do you guys see this? Not good. Need connected facility. Let's design with a few rooms. A grid 21 by 15 tiles, each cell 2 units, room separated by walls with doors. Maybe use ASCII. And then it just output. Does anybody know? Let me comment down below if you guys know what this is, but I don't know what this is doing. It's just outputting all of this. What are you doing? You're just outputting a bunch of hashtags and dots. Why are you doing this? Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so here's what it said. It said, I'm building the survival horror game. I've just finished scaffolding and started writing the core modules, the hashtags. Okay, here we go. So now we're back on the right track. But guys, I mean, what even is that, right? I mean, so it said that the hashtags dots you may be seeing is probably the tool output formatting. The actual code files are being written to SRC. I'll keep moving through the systems and report progress at each milestone. Next up, the level layout, player movement, and rendering setup. So this now looks like it's back on the right track. We're seeing it write code, but that is a weird issue. I'm assuming that they're going to fix this, but yeah, this is an issue obviously with Kimi K2.7. These agents are all still working, and I do want to test YOLO mode, and I also want to test launching sub-agents to recreate the BridgeMind.ai website. So for this agent down here, you guys can see my prompt. I just said review BridgeMind UI and create a remake of the site with new styling and a new directory called BridgeMind Kimi Revamp. Launch 15 sub-agents to assist you with this task. So I do want to see what sub-agents look like with Kimi code. Let's also just launch one more agent and have it do that first-person shooter test in a single HTML file. I need you to create a single HTML file that is a first-person shooter game. Do not reference any other files in this directory. Just create a new file that is a single HTML file called, and I'm just going to type it in manually, Kimi K2.7 FPS. The FPS game should be a first-person shooter game where I'm able to navigate a map and fight enemies with an AR-15 and an RPG, and it should be highly realistic. So we'll submit that and see what it comes up with. I'm kind of noticing a recurring pattern with Kimi K2.7. I'm just going to expand this agent here. What even is this? Do you see this? I think the model is screaming out for help or something. I don't know what's going on. For the agent that is currently rebuilding the BridgeMind website, this is what it looks like when you launch subagents. And for Kimi, they call it an agent swarm. So you can see it here, and it looks similar in their web UI, but if you look at it, this is what it looks like. You can see that we have, 14 agents running on the website revamp. All right, guys, we do have the results from the Remotion video, so here's what we're looking at. It's 90 seconds long. I'm not going to play the full thing. I'll just play part of it, but so far, what we're looking at is not good, okay? This is nowhere close to the capabilities of frontier models, and even the result that we got from GLM 5.2 was way better than this. If you look at this, this isn't actually a digital twin of Bridge Space. It wasn't able to do a very good job of recreating the UI. And if you look at this, like this demo video, it doesn't even take up the full width of the screen. Look at how much blank space and white space there is in the video. So it doesn't look anything like Bridge Space actually looks. And this basically is just like a PowerPoint presentation. This is not a good job. Kimi K2.7 and its creativity and its UI design, I would give this like literally an F. I think that this is terrible. I don't think that I could even recover this in like 2 or 3 shots. This is so bad. So we're going to stop that. That's a minute in. That does not look good. Also, guys, I did hit my usage limit for these tests. Literally, look at this. I was only using 6 agents. Now, I guess that I have these agents down here running a swarm, but I already zapped my 5-hour usage. Look at this, 429, you've reached your usage limit for this period. Your quota will be refreshed in the next period. Upgrade to get more. This is ridiculous. Literally, look at this. I only used 176,000 tokens, 194,000 tokens, 113,000 tokens, 85,000 tokens, and then 44,000 tokens. The limits that you get on this Kimi plan are not good, especially when you think that the model has 85 cents per million on the input and $3.50 per million on the output. How am I getting rate limited so quickly? For the purpose of the video, I'm going to have to upgrade to the $99 a month plan. This is ridiculous. All right, so I just upgraded to the $99 a month plan so that we could finish off our tests here. But guys, that is so frustrating because literally the model is supposed to be cheap and I got rate limited faster with the Kimi plan than I would be if I was using Opus 4.8. We do have the results of the first person shooter game. So as you guys know, this is where we should be able to navigate a map and fight off enemies. So let's click to deploy and whoa, what in the world? Okay, all right, so it created a maze. So if I had prompted it to create a maze game, then yeah, this would be spot on, but I didn't prompt it to create a maze game. So here's our first enemy. Man, guys, if you guys have seen any of the output that we've seen from other models, here's another guy. So, okay, that guy's dead. Here's the RPG. Let's test the RPG. Okay. Guys, this is a bad output. There we go. Got that guy. Because it's like a maze. Like, this is not what I prompted. Here's another guy. Let's see here. Okay, KIA. Okay. Terrible output there. Now, this agent in the top right was the one that was working in my production code base, right? And I do want to draw your attention to the fact that it did only use 43.3% of that context, okay? So I was saying that that was one thing to look out for was, hey, how fast is that context window going to get filled in a real production code base? But we can now test this. So I'm just going to test this with an email and see if we actually have fixed this. Let's just do a random email here. Do you guys see how weird the Cloudflare toggle looks there? That was Kimi that did that. Just so you guys know, the widget looking weird like that, that was Kimi. All right, let me see if I actually received this email though. All right, Kimi K2.7 did fix this, okay? So I know that the Cloudflare widget looks a little bit weird, which is obviously a hallucination from the model, but I did receive the email. If you guys look at this here, the email has been received. So if you guys want 50% off for your first 3 months, you can use this code here if you want. But it did get this working because remember before, this was not working. Kimi K2.7 did get this working in a production code base. All right, guys, here's the output from the Minecraft game. And as you guys can see, Kimi K2.7 failed miserably on this prompt. If you guys look around, you can see that nothing about this is correct. This is a complete wash. And Kimi K2.7 worked on this for about, what, almost an hour and it zapped my usage. So look at this. Is this Minecraft to you guys? Look at this. This is a terrible job from Kimi K2.7. Finally, we do have the output of the survival horror game after 1 hour of work from Kimi K2.7. Let's click to start and see. Okay. Nice. Kimi K2.7 has been a complete fail. This is one of the worst models that I have ever tested, especially in today's world. I have put Kimi K2.7 through BridgeBench. You guys can go check out the results at BridgeBench.ai. But we're seeing a lot of what we've seen from other models, okay? We see a regression on some benchmarks. It does do a little bit better in UI, but in refactoring, it now is performing worse than Kimi K2.6. On the hallucination benchmark, you can see Kimi K2.6 was number 5. Kimi K2.7 is, where even is it? Is it all the way down here? Look at this, number 20. So this is a common thing that we see with models. Many people, they think, oh, Kimi K2.7 is going to be way better than Kimi K2.6. But in a lot of instances, what we've seen is that models, just because they bump the version, does not mean that the model is going to perform across the board better. And we're seeing it perform worse in hallucination. Let's see how it's doing in BS. Where's Kimi K2.6? Kimi K2.6, Kimi K2.7, it does perform better than Kimi K2.6 in BS. You can see Kimi K2.6, 19, and then Kimi K2.7 scores 15. In speed, that is definitely one thing that I noticed. Kimi K2.7 scores number 11 at 122 tokens per second, which is over 30% faster, about 30% faster than Kimi K2.6. This was noticeable for me, but guys, I'm just not seeing what I need to see from a model in today's world to be able to put the BridgeMind stamp of approval on this. You know, people use these models because they're cheaper. Let's just find, so here's the Kimi K2.6 lava lamp test right there. You can see that. Let's find Kimi K2.7. Here is Kimi K2.7. So, you know, all I have to say is that a lot of people will use the Chinese models because they are cheaper, okay? But I would even say that Kimi K2.7 is way worse than GLM 5.2. If you guys watched my GLM 5.2 video, you're starting to see that Kimi models are actually horrible, okay? The tests that I did today have not been impressive in any way, shape, or form. They took a super long time. I had to upgrade my plan from the $39 a month plan to the $99 a month plan because I zapped my usage in like 30 minutes. So I'm a little bit frustrated because I paid so much money, but still a lot of people do like these Chinese models. But I would definitely say if you're trying to decide what plan to get and you are going to use a Chinese model, don't go with a Kimi plan. Do not get Kimi K2.7 code, okay? GLM 5.2 is way better. It's around the same price. It's faster, like way faster, like almost three times faster. GLM 5.2 has a way larger context window and it's going to be more reliable for you and you get more usage with a GLM coding plan. Kimi, I don't even know what they're doing. This performance has been so terrible that there is no way I would touch this model with like a 10-foot pole. With that being said, Kimi K2.7 code obviously does not earn the BridgeMind stamp of approval. There's no way that I'm going to be using this model in my vibe coding workflow. But if you guys want to try out the model, I am going to be doing that giveaway. So make sure that you like, subscribe, and join the BridgeMind Discord community, and make sure that you comment down below that you've done so. With that being said, I will see you guys in the future.